place to start. Now, this video is about me actually finishing this goal. And right now, man, I don't know if you can see it in my eyes, but I don't feel like I really believe myself. Let's get to where I believe. When you let yourself slip, it's not overnight, but it feels that way. One day you're doing good, and the next thing you know, you've put 50 pounds back on, and you're holding your breath to tie your shoes. Like millions of other people, I told myself after New Year's I was going to lose weight. However, my journey didn't start then.
Now, a study has provided more evidence that obese people are much more likely to die from coronavirus. Researchers at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill found obese people had a 48% increase in death rates and are twice as likely to be hospitalized.
During the pandemic, it was the first time that I truly realized that my lifestyle could kill me. I stepped on the scale and the numbers showed me that I really needed to change. A few years before, I stopped smoking, but I used a vape. And let's be honest, it's not any better. So I threw it in the fire and I quit for good. I started working out, riding a bit of road bike, and I started doing stuff on my mountain bike I never did before.
Today, we're here in Auburn, California, and I'm about to do the biggest ride I've ever done.
I was eating healthy, and it was paying off. But this isn't a fairy tale, and after a few months, I stumbled. This last month has been so emotionally freaking draining. In the beginning of 2021, I refocused, and even though I put a few pounds back on, I was ready to hit that goal.
I'm in territory that I'm familiar with now. Like, I know I can do this.
At least until the beginning of 2022, when I made another video about how I fell off track and was serious about hitting that goal. I'm gonna do it. I'm not stopping until I do. Everything seemed to be going great until the next vlog at the beginning of 2023, which had the same storyline. There's always these moments in a weight loss journey that are not what you wanted. And realistically, I know it's about how I can persevere from that. You know, do I let that bring me down or do I let that motivate me? So this brings us to January 4th, 2024, when it's abundantly clear that something needs to change, because I don't want to make the same video again. Every time I walk into the bathroom and I look at myself, I'm reminded that I'm a failure. And bringing in 2024, I'm like 15 pounds away from where I started. At that moment, I decided to be a little more accountable for my decisions. I started a weekly live stream that chronicles my weight loss. What's up, YouTube? Oh my God. Welcome to episode 1 of Backpedal. So far, there are 11 episodes that cover the highs and the lows in detail. Subscribe and hit the bell to catch it live. But if you want to see it later, or you'd like to catch up on old episodes, it's only available to YouTube members and Patreon patrons. $3 on YouTube, and if you decide to do the 5 on Patreon, you'll get access to all my old videos that aren't on YouTube anymore, a sticker pack, and I'll write you a letter. It truly means a lot to me every time somebody supports me. So for those of you watching that have done that, thank you. When I recorded the video to kick off the Backpedal show, I wasn't really motivated to start losing weight. I knew I had to, but I wasn't excited about it. However, the show was the accountability that I needed. There's something to be said for having to publicly announce your success or failure every week. Things went wrong this week. That's not bullshit. Man, there's so many things. Like I've had all day long to think about it, and I still it still stings. I reflected on my past attempts to hit the goal, and I decided instead of trying to buckle down and be a diet Nazi, I would instead work on doing things slow. Just like building a trail, these things take time. And the more time you spend doing it, the better it'll end up. So I've been telling myself, stay consistent. The times that I drop the weight fast, I'm not like changing my lifestyle well enough, or I think what I'm doing is I'm like so focusing on just like getting to the end that I'm not like setting myself up to like what the new normal is. Of course, I changed my diet. I also started working out again, which is a struggle to do sometimes, but I feel better afterwards. Because of all the rain in Northern California, I've been doing most of my riding on a Zwift training plan. However, when I'm actually outside riding, it's been making a huge difference.
Here I am, the end of February, about 2 months from that video when I was bitching about being fat, and had to take a bunch of breaks to get to that point. And I made it right here, top of this freaking mountain, in one push.
Another part of my plan was to get back to running.
Hey dude, let's go this way.
And after a couple of weeks of walking, I started doing that again too.
We're a mile out, and on my way out here, I figured today would be a good day to start running, so I'm gonna try to run back to the truck. I'll tell you what, just like riding bikes, climbing sucks. All right, wrapping it up, here we go. Really, dude, right before we get in the truck. Oh my God. Whew. I'm not too upset about that for my very first run in, I don't even know how many years. So it's gonna take Rudy down to the lake here and hopefully get him less muddy.
To keep myself from feeling like I'm locked down, I've been okay with having a few beers and maybe some sake when I'm out to dinner with my wife. Or if we do a big ride, I'm not passing on that tasty michelada. Overall, the thing I keep preaching to myself is stay consistent. Don't be a Nazi dieter. Have some fun here and there, but don't go overboard. I'm really trying to just do this consistency thing that I keep talking to you guys about, and like building a lifestyle that I'm like okay with. I did have a little extra motivation to lose weight this year. I got my first sponsorship with Tasco MTB, and I purposely asked for things a little smaller. So if I wanted to wear it, I definitely needed to drop some weight. For instance, I love this jersey, but looking like a stuffed sausage isn't a good look. However, Tasco has adjustment straps in the waistband, so you can add, or in my case, lose a few pounds, and they'll still fit. Regardless, the color on these pants gets compliments every time I wear them. They also just dropped a new color of their lightweight Phantom shorts. These are my go-to shorts all summer, and this gray has a special additive to keep it from staining easily. If you like lightweight gloves, I bought the Phantom gloves last year, and in the peak of summer, I didn't want to wear anything else. It's actually the Phantom line that after years of using Tasco stuff made me reach out to Nate and see if he wanted to work together. I've turned down different sponsorships over the years because I didn't want my opinion to seem bought. But I've always aligned with companies that I feel really stand behind their customers. And in the 7 years that I've known Nate, he's always been a stand-up guy. If you're considering some new stuff, swing by the Tasco MTB website and use code B1KER and you'll save some money. You'll not only be supporting me, but a family-run business right here in California. I started the year off at 286 pounds, and every week has brought on different emotions. Some weeks I step on the scale and I'm stoked with what I see. I've been trying hard to change my mindset on this and be patient with losing the weight slowly. However, some of the weigh-ins, they've really tested me. I'm not having very many good thoughts right now. Typically going to the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival has been the beginning of me falling off track. I had a little anxiety about whether or not this is where I start running it into the ground. We had 5 days of awesome riding. Here's a sneak peek of my next video.
Oh, that's cool. Just rail in that corner. Nice.
can't wait to share that with you. Until then, back to the fest. Jeff Lenoski from the Trail Boss channel hosted a super fun foot down contest at the Tasco tent. I also got to see all the new Ari bikes. That's the brand formerly known as Fazari. They rebranded and dropped a bunch of new models. A DH bike, a DJ, and a few e-bikes. The new lightweight trail e-bike with the Fazua motor is pretty sick. After being completely blown away by my LaSalle Peak and once again being thoroughly impressed by their dedication to customers, I've also decided to start a sponsorship with them this year. I'm super excited to be riding their bikes, and if you want to see the reviews I'll be doing, bang on that subscribe button and ring the bell. Going to Sedona and partying with my buddies for a long weekend was fun, but I knew this is where the cracks in the foundation start. Typically, I'd go, have fun, come back, and try to adjust from being a super strict dieter to something similar to what I'm doing now. But every year, spring rolls in, and the post-ride beers would become something I did every ride, and the cheat meals would multiply. And the next thing you know, boom, I'm making another I fell off track video. When I got back this year, I made sure to stay consistent. This is the new normal. It's not just a diet. So right back into the gym, eating right, and those weekly accountability sessions on Backpedal. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Where'd I start, and where'd I end up?
Well, this is the beginning of the year, and definitely not stoked about where I'm at right now. To be honest, things have to change, and I definitely lean into being out of control whenever I'm knowing that change is coming. Whenever I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start getting my shit together, what I do is I double down on being as unhealthy as I possibly can. My goal in 2024 is to be more in 2024. And I am not going to give myself any breaks until I get to my goal.
I don't know what changed for me compared to that right there, but I can tell you this much. That personality, that mindset, that's what's been holding me back. That's what's been keeping me from my goal. It's this idea that I can just lock down the diet, lose the weight quick, and then boom, you're skinny, and you can go back to being out of control. This is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and I've been saying that for 4 years, but I don't believe it. I didn't believe it. I didn't want to accept it. And apparently it's taken me 4 years to figure that out. I can't keep living my life like I did when I was 20. It's the reality of the age that I am. So, it's been 3 months. I put some work in, both mentally and physically. And let's see where I'm at. All right, here we go.
Verdict is in. That was not the number I was expecting. Holy cow. That's 36 pounds in just shy of 3 months. Not bad for not being overboard and still having beers and still having a good time. Whew, that's amazing. That's crazy because it's really not much more time and only 5 pounds less than the last couple of years whenever I was super strict and was a little bit overbearing on myself. So I have about 30 more pounds to go, and I'm gonna be on Backpedal every Tuesday night talking about my successes and my failures until then. So if you wanna help cheer me on or be inspired or just see what's going on, swing by Backpedal. It's on the Biker and the Biker Bar channels every Tuesday. Until then, remember, it only takes a bike to be a biker. Get out and be one.